Hey, welcome to the pod. I'm Chris.
I am Pierre.
Today we are talking about a poem that is very near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite poems of all time. I don't listen to as much poems as Pierre over here, but this is my favorite poem of all time. If someone ever asked me whether I had a mantra, a creed, a set of words to live my life by till the day that I die, I'd say it's this. It's a poem that's simple, it's profound, it's macroscopic, it's microscopic. It's simple enough that a child can follow, yet rich enough that an adult can discover new things with each reread. And one of the key attributes of this poem that makes it so erudite and magnificent is the elegance with which it depicts balance. Because balance is one of the biggest components of this reality that we live in. Dark cannot exist without light. The sun rises when the moon falls. Yin can't exist without yang. Positivity is a mirror of negativity. Hot counters cold. Newton's third law. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. There's balance in everything, from the emotional to the psychological to the social to the corporeal to the metaphysical. And once you approach the nuances of life with this understanding, it's a massive stride on the path towards wisdom. And through the language of balance, this poem perfectly encapsulates what it means to be wise. And it's why I hold it so dear. Because when you find something that takes a concept as complicated and vague as wisdom and then boils it down to something that can be spoken in less than 10 breaths, that is something that should be cherished, respected, and celebrated. And I've yet to find a poem that does it as well as this one. So I'm pretty excited just to re-listen to this. I've listened to it probably at least, I don't know, 20, 30 times, maybe 40 over the course of my life. To you, that's probably rookie numbers, right? Because you listen to poems like music pretty much.
They're
So
so short. Yeah, yeah, man. They're so short. You can listen over
yeah,
and over.
yeah.
Hmm.
And unlike music, you don't really get. I don't know if you experience this with music, but for me, if I listen to the same song like over and over, I just start to get kind of numb to it. But for
Desensitized.
poems,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
desensitized. But poems is different because it's ideas that are being, you know, thrown at you instead of
Hmm.
sounds. So I can listen to
That's
this
true.
forever.
Yeah, poems feel more timeless. That is true. That is true. Where
Yeah,
music can expire, but some music, no, there's some music that never can. Like, I don't know, like Michael Jackson. I don't remember his greatest album. Like my parents talk about that all the time. Was it? I think Thriller was the album and the song on Thriller. I don't know. It was not my time, but yeah, they talk about that album. There's some stuff like I don't know, like Sam Smith's The Thrill of It All. That's a classic to me. But yeah, I understand. I understand wholeheartedly. My affinity for poetry is it matches yours of
mm,
this specific singular poem. But still,
yeah,
dude, I know I'm
yeah,
excited because yeah, wow, I didn't know when you told me this. You heard my first listen of this, my reaction.
yeah.
I was like,
And
shit,
you loved it. I'm glad you
it's
loved it.
very good. It is
It
extremely
is.
good.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I right after listening to this, I think it does fit in the positive outlook theme, my perspective, which I guess at the end I'll say why. If you think so too, sure. I was actually wrestling with putting this into something of his own, like principles, basically, which are a code to live by, because
That's a
it's
cool,
basically
cool. That's a cool category.
yeah, because it's just like life principles, like just character building principles, or freaking yeah, I thought of these things when I was listening to it, but I was like, it also fits positive outlook because it tackles how to actually. Let me not. Let's wait till the end. All right.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
yeah.
So, so this poem can be broken into four stanzas. So at the end of each stanza, what I'll do is I'll pause it and then I'll paraphrase his wording. So as like that's it's so that I complement his words. And there's a lot of different variations of this poem that exist online. You can find a bunch of them. I think there's one that's even read by Sir Michael Caine. You know the actor. He
No.
you definitely know him. He's like this British guy. He's older. I
Oh, is
think
that the
he's
guy I'm seeing right
Batman.
now? Is that the guy at the bottom of the screen right now?
Well, you've seen Dark Knight.
Yes, that's
Batman's
Alfred.
butler,
That's
Alfred.
that's a
Yeah,
guy. Yeah, yeah, that's Alfred.
like he read this poem. So there's a
Ooh,
lot of
what about
different
Morgan Freeman?
voiceovers. I wouldn't be
Ooh.
surprised. Yeah, would not be surprised.
Mm,
So,
mm, mm. No,
but
this poem is. There's one thing I'll change, but I'll say that at the end. There's one thing I would change, but I'll say that at the end.
okay. Um, yeah, so we're gonna be listening to the one that's read by. It comes from a channel called Red Frost Motivation. So yeah, we'll put a link in the description and also on the podcast website. But all right, here we go.
Mm, mm.
Starting now.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise.
God, what a fucking voice! All right, this is where
I know, right?
I'm gonna paraphrase this first stanza. So, if you can be the outlier who is calm when others are not, if you can be confident in yourself when others doubt you, yet not lose sight of potential truth that might exist within their doubt, and if you can endure endurance, if you can stay truthful when you're surrounded by lies, and if you can have a deep, honest, inward humility. That's a lot of the takeaways from that stanza. Anything you want to touch on, Pierre?
Oh, I'm pumped. He sounds like Gandalf the Great. It's for the Lord of the
I
Ring
know, right?
fans.
That's an epic
Um,
voice.
it's uh, it's insane. Okay, so to all the things you just mentioned, right? Keeping your like head cool when everyone is blaming you. That's like a level-headedness, which is a
I'm sure
quality.
you've dealt with that at work, right?
I know, right? As a project manager, yeah, it's, it's just
Yeah,
to
your day
constantly
to
have
day.
to, yeah, placate yourself and just turn down fires and shit. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Yeah, and then if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, as in expect that you'll be doubted. Make an allowance, as in you know what, I'm going to be underestimated. People will go against things I say. People will think I won't be able to make it, just so that's not a surprise. Like having an available stock for people to criticize you, just so you're not going in fully blind because we live in a negative world. Um, Make allowance when they doubt you. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, what is that? That's cultivating patience. Like or being lied about, don't deal in lies. What is that? That speaks to your character. You're aware that you live in a world that's full of fucked up shit, fucked up people, but knowing that you're staying true to yourself and never lose sight of that, never give in. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. That's a kind of maturity, kindness, basically, because it takes a lot of strength to be hated and don't give way to hating, because that's it's very
Mm-hmm.
easy. You know, it's almost involuntary to hate someone for hating you, which is why this will tie into the next poem, forgiveness, which goes great. Or don't look too good, nor talk too wise. That's humility. You know you're the shit. You know you're educated. Like you know you're fucking probably mentally at a higher level than a few of the people in your surrounding. Like if you're surrounded by idiots, but to not point it out at the same time to not come off as condescending. Like this
Mm-hmm.
humility. I just this throughout this whole stanza, he's just hinting on a bunch of core values that all human beings should strive to have: patience, character, standards, humility,
Yep.
maturity.
Yep.
Just oh, crazy shit. I'm freaking pumped. this, this poem is good, Christian. This poem is good,
It
bro. Like,
is. It's phenomenal. All right, pressing play now.
If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools.
Do you know what ASMR is?
Ooh, Christian, I do know what ASMR is.
God
I
damn.
do. Bro,
Shady channel.
the Super Bowl commercial with the Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz, and what's her name? Just Bonet. My goodness, butchering this. These are black people. I should know who these people are. Anyway, her daughter Zoe Kravitz did a Super Bowl commercial 2 years ago that freaking shivers down everyone's freaking spine. So it's just like, what? That's how I got introduced to ASMR. But yeah.
Speaking of shivers, this guy, his voice is. I have him loud in my ears. He's like rattling my soul every time he
Oh
speaks.
no! Those are. It's just his voice is rusty yet refined.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
me.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh,
It is
crazy shit,
definitely.
man.
So here is where I will paraphrase the stanza. Paraphrase the stanza. So if you can be an optimistic pessimist, if your intelligence is not a forced facade, if you can stay grounded when you succeed and when you fail, if you can keep your character when others are trying to soil it, and then if you can have the resolve to never quit, no matter how many setbacks you have. Take it away, Pierre. Any thoughts?
So it's so crazy how our ways of, it's like, I am more of like freaking line by line because it's like, oh, this is good. This is what he meant by that. I like how you sum it up, which is very nice actually. Our methods are just so perpendicular, which is why we jail. Freaking, that's why our aura is jail. That's from Loaded Lux. That's a freestyle. But aura jail for hair, it's a bar. Never mind. Check out Loaded Lux on Funk Flex. That freestyle was fire. But yeah, so right, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, which is such a dope line, because we're so laser focused at time, like such a unilateral POV that a lot of people and things in their lives tend to suffer. Look at the greats actually. Look at the great activists, the Mandelas and the MLKs. They had a dream, they had a goal in life, but do you know how much their sons, their daughters, their wives, their siblings missed out on because of those dreams? That's just this might be a very that's not the best example because of these people, you and I are able to freaking live in a better world. But but it's just being so laser focused in your dream, making it your master, you lose sight, you lose touch on a bunch of different things. So it's good to dream, but at the same time to have a self control to not let it overpower your life. Some dreams are just powerful. That is what it is. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. Why are they imposters? Because they're ephemeral. They're short lived. A triumph is very quick, which is what Derek Brown said in Victory Explosion. Winning, escort losses to the dance and just leave. Like, hey, I drop you off. I'm going back home because that's it. Disasters are short lived too. They're pungent. They hit hard. That's true. But they're imposters because the time frame is so short. So if you see it as that, it will allow you to keep moving forward because that's all they are. Imposters is a bit of I understand where he's coming from. It is a bit harsh because they're really not. These are real actual things. And triumph can just shake freaking like send tremors through your core of just joy. Like a triumph can put you on cloud nine and literally make your week or your month or your year. A disaster can freaking take away your voice. Like Rudy said, they have to send out a search warrant. These are real things, but they're imposters because those feelings are only there for a short period of time. And it's very temporary. Yes. And the last things, watch the thing you give life to broken, stoop and build him up with worn out tools, which you alluded to that in Rudy's poem, The Heart and the Fist. No, complainers. Yeah, build
Very powerful
something
imagery.
from the wreckage. Yeah. That's what Rudy Francisco said. Which is like, just
Repurposing.
basically repurposing, man. Yes. And this perseverance, this like relentlessness of freaking, I can go again. I can do this all day. This freaking Captain America. It's like I can do this all day. Just
Mhm.
crazy shit. But yeah, that's it for me for the second stanza.
Mhm. Right.
Powerful
On
shit.
to stanza number 3. Here we go.
Hooray.
If you could make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on.
Bro.
30, 40 listens later, and I still get chills at the at that last part where you have nothing else. You have
Just
nothing
willpower.
else except
Bro.
willpower. So hold on to it. And never let it go. Oh,
You're Frank Castle, bro. You're the Punisher. Just pure will. Just will, bro. Ugh.
the wording
Crazy
in
shit.
this is so beautiful.
It really
I
is.
I marvel anytime I see like because it's so short. If you were to look up "If" by Rudyard Kipling and just see it broken out into stanzas online, these stanzas are very small. They're
Mm-hmm.
not intimidating. They're just these small chunks of wisdom, and I have so much respect for that because the if you can explain something simply to a child, something complex, if you can explain that to a child, that is proof of your mastery of the subject because
Yeah.
that's like the essence of truly understanding the essence
Mm-hmm.
of something.
Yeah.
And Rudyard is doing it so wonderfully here. And it's just it's incredible. So let me paraphrase this stanza. It'll be a really quick paraphrase. So if you're willing to take risks, and if you are aware of the positive and negative outcomes associated with those risks, and you accept the result no matter what, and if you can have faith in a brighter future and your ability to reach it. That's what I drew from this stanza. And of course, my gushing over just how you worded it is anything you wanted to say on this one?
Yeah. And to piggyback off of the other two poems we've done, all of them, but I'll just stick to two. Jaylene's poem, right? That it's okay to make these mistakes because she needs to forgive herself for giving herself impossible tasks, and that mistakes are okay. It gives you an opportunity to learn. Like from when he said now to lose everything and to start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. It's it's really hard to brush a loss like it's nothing. You just,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you can be impervious to a loss. It's just it's time, it's effort that is gone to basically waste because you didn't achieve the goal that you set for yourself. So, but to quickly brush it up and have this drive to go again, that takes guts. Like,
Yeah.
I think Hansen was telling us this. Hansen from College Works, right? He was like, I don't know, because he was a big like Elon Musk fan. He was like something about like he tried one time, two time, three times to get this up and running. Actually, I don't know much
Mm.
about Elon if that's true, but just that's the one thing that came to my head when I'm thinking about this. Like to keep going, as in like people are like, yeah, this project's not going to pick up. This is a failure, but he believed. I really don't know how true these things are. I probably shouldn't research into that after this podcast. But yeah, it's
Mm.
just it's those are powerful words. Those are shit. If you added like a actually fuck it, I'm just gonna add this in my gym playlist. I was gonna say if you add like a good background gladiator sound in the end in the background, bro, this shit
I'm
would
sure there's one out there. There must be.
and the perseverance, the will to just hold on. There's nothing left, Christian. There's nothing left to serve your turn long after they are gone. You're
Mhm.
worn out. You're done. And that's gonna
Mm.
tie in when we do different perspective. two poems that we're
Mm,
gonna do that say two completely different things. Opposite.
mm.
I think I call them opposite something, but yeah, that's gonna tie into that. But yeah, I love the stanza. It was very sick. Actually, I love all of them, and of course the last one. Just
Yeah.
this was good. This was good.
All right, on to the last stanza. Here we go.
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Chills, chills, and
Mm,
of course you can replace
mm.
son with woman. Um, but yeah, it's universal. Because I think this poem was written in, yeah, it says it here. It was written in 1865. Or actually, no, no, no. I
Damn.
think it says, I guess he was born in 1865 and then died in 1936, I guess. So this is see the wisdom in this. It stands the test of time. It's
Yeah, it
not
does.
like something that is. Uh, this is something that can be spoken like in BC, or it can be
Hmm.
spoken in the modern days. Like it still holds true, which I think is a testament to how profound it is.
That is true. It's yeah. Anything that's for you to better yourself, and especially when we're living in a gradually degrading world. So it's it's yeah. These will only like these things should only like be elevated more and more, just because the temptation to not be that, which is the other side, which is bad, is so much more potent than before. Like you're exposed to so many, you're basically tempted pretty much, and a bunch of things that were frowned upon are now normalized to the point where there's like it's basically that's it. It's just the new normal. So to live by a set of principles, very few people, when you see a bunch of other people not living by those, it just makes these words more sacred. Like it's like commandments, like why did Moses have the 10 commandments? Like why did God have these? Because a lot of shit was going on, and it was like, hey, there's a set of rules that it's going to be very hard. It's the narrow path, like Robert Frost, the road less traveled, pretty much.
Right.
So yeah, it's yeah, these things will stand the test of time. That's a fact. But like shit, man, this is like keeping your composure. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. Like don't ever like lose yourself. Stay true to who you are. Like don't be swayed by like your surrounding. Like, don't be two faced. Be true to yourself. Be a fucking Ned Stark. It's for the Game of Thrones fans. But yeah, crazy. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, bro, like, give it everything you have, Christian. Like, don't half do it. It's all or nothing. And I just love the if you can fill an unforgiving minute, a minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, as in every second of that minute, which is 60 seconds, use it. Okay, no
Yeah, and it's like,
procrastination. Just
yeah, it's like if you understand that you're allocated a limited amount of time, yet the time
don't
that you're
waste any.
given is enough to accomplish the greatest of achievements.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
no, it's fucking crazy shit. Oh, if you can master all this, you'll be a man, my son. Now, because this is probably written from like a long time ago, that's one thing I would change. I'd be like, you'll be a good person, or you'll be complete, or you'll be whole, is how I would have ended it if it was in today's day and age. Because I know it was much more like patriarchal back then. Which okay, that's a very negative connotation. That sounds bad. As in, it was much more. I don't know. Like it was normal to be like, if you can do this, do this. Which all these traits can also be relatable to a woman. But yeah, aside from that, nah, bro, this shit was fire. Shit. Yeah, you didn't give your take on this, man. You didn't give your take on this last one.
Yeah, I mean, you covered it pretty well, but I'll do my little paraphrase. So if you don't get daunted by social status and you see everyone as human, just like you, if you can be confident in your independence, if you can give an appropriate amount of energy to another, if you can understand, like you were saying before, that you're given a limited amount of time, yet you can accomplish the greatest things with that time. If you truly understand the words that are being said in this poem, and if you put these words and these concepts into practice, then you'll truly know what it means to be wise. It's a breathtaking poem. It
Hmm.
really, it didn't need me to paraphrase it. It can speak for itself. But
Yeah.
the paraphrase, maybe it can paint a different picture in your mind.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true.
beautiful poem.
Um, Extremely
Absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful.
The reason I think this can fit with the positive outlook is from me reading this poem, I just see a series of like temptations, distractions, obstacles, and a constant reminder to keep your cool, to stay true to yourself, to have patience. So it's like, hey, this everything just fell apart. Positive outlook. Build another one. Like people are doubting you. Positive outlook. Make an allowance that people will doubt you. Just know that hey, I will be doubted. I'll be underestimated. Like, just if you're being hated, being lied to, don't deal in lies. I just yeah. So I can see how this is basically shaping you, like building you to deal properly deal with a world that is just shit will hit the fan at some point, but you will just be equipped with the right tools to persevere and go through. Because this is all about fucking just dealing with everything that life throws at you. And it's paraphrased, of
Mm.
course, but he captures the important things. For that, yeah, I think it fits into the positive outlook. But at the same time, like I said, yeah, definitely, if this could be in its own section too, like I'd probably title this like principles to live by, or
Yeah.
because it's just that's fucking dope too, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from the man at the end, which is not even a knock on it, because I understand when it was made, and just to be more inclusive, because like women do go through these kind of shit too, and there are strong women the same way there are strong men. So I'll be like, yeah,
True.
you will be whole. But other than that, the shit was fucking fire. Christian, I'm
Yeah.
shocked.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
what? I'll clap for you, Christian. I'll clap
Shocked.
for you.
I don't want your
Your pity clap.
condescending claps.
Your condescending claps. That alliteration. Yes, Christian. Ugh, crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
But yeah. So we've reached the end. Um, yep. I'm glad we could talk about this favorite poem of all time.
Mm,
Hell
mm,
yeah.
mm.
All right, dude. So
It's been
catch you
real.
in the next
Until
one.
next time.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to
See
sleep.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.